What happens if the ultimate symbol of justice in Port Charles becomes its greatest, most untouchable threat? What if this exact moment, right now, becomes the beginning of something much bigger and infinitely darker than a simple change in police leadership? Guys, I don't think we are paying attention to what comes next. We are all so focused on the fact that Anna Devane has reclaimed her rightful throne as the police commissioner of the PCPD, but we are completely missing the terrifying possibilities of what a compromised Anna could do with that absolute power. What if the person we implicitly trust to lock up the monsters is actually holding the keys to their cages, waiting for the perfect moment to swing the doors wide open? If this changes everything, the entire foundation of law and order in this city is about to crumble into dust. We are looking at a future where the badge means absolutely nothing, and the villains are being protected by the very institutions sworn to destroy them. The legacy of Anna Devane is on the line, but the future of Port Charles is what is truly at stake. Let us look at the current board, just to see where all our chess pieces are currently standing before the board gets flipped. Anna Devane is back in the commissioner's chair, officially ousting Dante Falconeri. Jen Sidwell is currently sitting behind bars, seemingly defeated and awaiting his inevitable punishment. Anna is aggressively reopening investigations into Ross Cullum, Cassius Faison, and specifically Sidwell. But look at the precinct she is running. The PCPD is already rotting from the inside out. Dante Falconeri, the former acting commissioner, has actively covered up the massive secret that his son, Rocco, shot Ross Cullum, letting Jason Morgan take the fall. Harrison Chase, the Boy Scout of the precinct, has completely compromised his own integrity by covering for his wife, Brooke Lynn, after she framed Willow Kane for a hit and run. And then there is Detective Joe Fitzpatrick, a total wild card who just walked onto the board. We have zero idea if he is a white knight or a Trojan horse. That is our starting point. A compromised precinct, a captive villain, and a returning commissioner who is secretly suffering from severe psychological trauma and haunting hallucinations of Peter August. Now, let us build the first future, and this could lead to a catastrophic breakdown of Port Charles' justice system. What if Anna is secretly gathering evidence, not to convict Jen Sidwell, but to orchestrate his flawless escape? Looking ahead, the story could be heading toward a terrifying reality, where Anna is essentially a sleeper agent, manipulated by the WSB or the remnants of Ross Cullum's dark network. Those hallucinations of Peter August, they might not just be PTSD. They could be psychological triggers, deeply embedded commands, forcing Anna to act against her own moral compass. If that happens, Anna uses her absolute authority as commissioner to systematically dismantle the prosecution's case against Sidwell from the inside. She buries the evidence, misdirects the forensics, and creates a perfectly legal loophole that allows Sidwell to walk out of the PCPD front doors as a free man. Imagine the visual of Anna sitting at her desk, deleting crucial files from the database, while the hallucination of Peter August stands over her shoulder, whispering sinister praises into her ear. The bigger consequence may be the sheer paralysis of the good cops who realize what is happening. Who gets hurt here? Everyone who fought to put Sidwell away. Sonny Corinthos, Laura Collins, and Lucas Jones will find themselves right back in the crosshairs of a vengeful Sidwell, but this time, the police won't help them. And who is in danger of losing their souls? Dante and Chase. Imagine the future scenes. Dante figures out Anna is sabotaging the Sidwell case. He storms into her office to confront her, but Anna simply looks at him, her eyes cold and distant, and calmly mentions Rocco's name and the bullet that hit Ross Cullum. Chase tries to blow the whistle on the missing evidence, and Anna subtly slides a file across her desk detailing Brooke Lynn's hit-and-run cover-up. Anna weaponizes their own corruption to ensure their absolute silence. In this future, Anna becomes the ultimate untouchable mob boss with a badge, and the PCPD becomes Sidwell's personal security detail. The very men who should be stopping her are paralyzed by their own dirty secrets, forced to watch as their commissioner burns the justice system to the ground. Let us pivot to a completely different future. What if Anna is not brainwashed at all? What if she is fully aware, fully in control, and has simply decided that the law is no longer sufficient? In this second future, Anna frees Jen Sidwell intentionally, using him as a pawn in a much larger, much more dangerous game of chess. There's a chance that Anna has realized Ross Cullum and Jen Sidwell were never the true mastermind. What if there is someone bigger, a shadowy puppet master, controlling the WSB's corruption from the absolute top? Anna knows she cannot catch this ghost through legal channels. So, she goes rogue while sitting in the highest seat of the law. She visits Sidwell in his cell in the dead of night, turns off the security cameras, and offers him a deal: his freedom in exchange for drawing out the big boss. She isn't compromised by Peter's memory. She is fueled by it, determined to wipe out the entire criminal network, even if it means breaking every oath she ever took. What happens next may be a massive, citywide gang war orchestrated by the commissioner herself. Anna deliberately lets Sidwell out because she knows Sidwell will immediately try to contact his ultimate boss for extraction or resources. She uses Sidwell as bait. This changes the entire dynamic of Port Charles. Anna is no longer a police officer. She is an apex predator using the PCPD as her personal Black Ops unit. But the fallout of this path is astronomical. If you unleash a monster like Sidwell into the streets just to catch a bigger fish, innocent people are going to die. This could lead to a devastating clash between Anna and the vigilantes of the city. Jason Morgan, Sonny Corinthos, and Valentine Cassadine will not stand by while Sidwell roams free. We could see a future where Jason and Sonny actively go to war against the PCPD, not because they are breaking the law, but because the PCPD has become the biggest criminal syndicate in town. Anna sacrifices her legacy, her friendships, and her soul, all for the sake of a twisted greater good, plunging Port Charles into absolute chaos. This brings us to the third future, and this is the wildest, most unexpected path the writers could take. We have been so focused on Anna and the established characters that we are ignoring the anomaly in the room, Detective Joe Fitzpatrick. What if Joe is not just a random new cop? What if Joe is actually the inside man, the handler for Sidwell, and the true threat inside the precinct? In this wildcard future, Anna is faking her corruption. She realizes the PCPD is infested with moles, and she suspects Joe. To draw him out, she pretends to be compromised. She acts like the Peter August hallucinations are breaking her mind. She subtly leaves a trail of breadcrumbs suggesting she is going to help Sidwell escape, making sure Joe sees every single mistake she makes. She wants Joe to believe that the commissioner is a broken, easily manipulated woman. But it is all a brilliant, high-stakes trap. Anna is playing multi-dimensional chess. She knows Dante is compromised with Rocco. She knows Chase is compromised with Brooklyn. She realizes she is completely alone in a precinct full of dirty cops. So she creates a scenario where Joe believes he has the upper hand, allowing Joe to facilitate Sidwell's escape, only to drop the hammer on both of them at the final second. Imagine the climax. Joe opens Sidwell's cell, thinking he has outsmarted everyone, only for the lights to flip on, revealing Anna standing there with her weapon drawn, perfectly sane and completely in control. This path would be absolutely incredible because it redeems Anna while simultaneously cleaning house at the PCPD. It would lead to a massive internal affairs purge, where Dante and Chase might actually have to face the music for their own cover-ups, once Anna proves that absolutely no one is above the law. If you ask me, the path that feels most likely is the first one, the psychological manipulation and the weaponization of the PCPD's existing corruption. I keep coming back to the idea that those hallucinations of Peter August are not just random side effects of trauma. General Hospital does not just throw Peter August on our screens for no reason. His presence always signifies deep, insidious manipulation, mind control, and psychological warfare. The writers have spent months showing us that Dante and Chase are willing to bend the rules for their family. Why build up that specific narrative if not to have it used against them by their own boss? The groundwork has been perfectly laid for a storyline where the good guys are paralyzed by their own hypocrisy. To me, watching Anna Devane, the paragon of virtue, slowly become the villain she used to hunt, all while holding the entire police force hostage with their own dirty secrets, is peak soap opera drama. It forces Dante to choose between his badge and his son's freedom. It forces Chase to choose between his oath and his wife's future. It creates a suffocating atmosphere where the good guys are trapped in a web of their own making, and the only person holding the strings is a commissioner who doesn't even realize she is being controlled by the ghosts of her past. It is tragic, it is compelling, and it sets up a massive redemption arc down the line when someone finally figures out how to break the programming in Anna's mind. But let us look even further down the road. Because this story does not end with Sidwell walking free or the PCPD being exposed. If that happens, what is the next shockwave? If the PCPD officially falls and is revealed to be a shield for criminals, Port Charles essentially becomes a lawless territory. The bigger consequence may be the total collapse of institutional trust. The citizens of Port Charles will realize that the police cannot protect them, and worse, that the police are actively working against them. Mayor Laura Collins will face the ultimate political nightmare, realizing the commissioner she appointed is the very rot destroying her city. How does a mayor govern a city when the police force is the enemy? This could lead to a terrifying new world order in the city. We might see the rise of a new vigilante coalition. Imagine Laura Collins having to officially sanction Jason Morgan and Valentine Cassadine to act as an off-the-books police force because her own commissioner is compromised. Imagine the WSB having to invade Port Charles, turning the city into a militarized zone to root out the corruption that Anna supposedly fostered. The story could be heading toward a total reset of the Port Charles power dynamics, where the lines between hero and villain are completely erased, and survival depends entirely on who has the biggest guns, not who wears the badge. The future of Port Charles is standing on a knife's edge, guys. And the moment Anna makes her move regarding Jen Sidwell, that blade is going to drop, slicing through everything we thought we knew about justice in this town.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.